For over 500 years, one painting has captivated, puzzled, and enchanted the world unlike any other. It's a face so familiar, you could recognize it anywhere, yet it holds secrets we are still trying to unravel. This is the story of the Mona Lisa, the most famous painting in the world. How did a modest portrait of a Florentine merchant's wife become a global icon, a symbol of art itself? The journey is one of artistic genius, historical chance, a daring theft, and the enduring power of a single enigmatic smile. Join me as we uncover the many layers behind Leonardo da Vinci's masterpiece. Let's start with the most fundamental question. Who was she? For centuries, her identity was debated. Was she a noblewoman, a courtesan, or perhaps even a self-portrait of Leonardo in disguise? Thanks to the meticulous work of art historians, we now know with near certainty that she was Lisa Gherardini, the wife of a wealthy Florentine silk merchant named Francesco del Giocondo. That's why in France, she's known as La Joconde. Leonardo began the portrait around 1503, likely to celebrate the birth of their second son. But this was no ordinary commission. Leonardo worked on it for years, carrying it with him from Italy to France, constantly refining it. He never delivered it to the Giocondo family. It remained in his possession until his death, a sign of his deep personal connection to the work. He saw it not just as a portrait, but as a culmination of his lifelong study of art, science, and the human form. So what makes this painting so revolutionary? It's all in the technique. Leonardo was a master of innovation, and the Mona Lisa is his showcase. First, there's the famous sfumato technique, a word that literally means vanish like smoke. Look closely at the corners of her mouth and eyes. You'll notice there are no hard lines or sharp outlines. Leonardo used delicate layers of thin, translucent glazes to create a soft, hazy effect. This allows the features to blend seamlessly into one another, creating an incredible sense of realism and ambiguity. Is she smiling, or is she not? The sfumato technique makes her expression shift and change depending on where you look, drawing you into an endless game of perception. It's this very ambiguity that gives the portrait its psychological depth and its famous, mysterious quality. Then there's the groundbreaking composition. Before Leonardo, portraits were often stiff and formal, showing subjects in strict profile. Leonardo broke from tradition. He painted Lisa in a three-quarter view, turned towards the viewer, creating a sense of immediate and intimate connection. Her body forms a pyramid shape, giving her a monumental, stable presence. Her hands, beautifully rendered and relaxed, are crossed in her lap, a pose that conveys modesty and composure. This was a radical departure from the rigid portraiture of the time. It made the subject feel like a real, living person you could have a conversation with, not just a flat image on a panel. This dynamic and naturalistic approach would influence portrait painting for centuries to come. And we can't forget the background. It's not just a decorative backdrop, it's a character in itself. Leonardo applied his deep understanding of geology and atmospheric science to create one of the most fascinating landscapes in art history. He used what we now call aerial perspective. Notice how the distant mountains are bluish and hazy, while the features in the foreground are sharper and warmer in color. This mimics how our own eyes perceive distance in the real world. But the landscape is also a work of imagination. It's a wild, primordial world of jagged rocks and winding rivers. Curiously, the horizons on the left and right sides don't quite line up, adding to the slightly surreal, dreamlike quality of the painting. It is as if Lisa is sitting at the intersection of the civilized world and the untamed forces of nature, a bridge between humanity and the cosmos. For hundreds of years after Leonardo's death, the Mona Lisa was part of the French royal collection, admired by connoisseurs, but largely unknown to the general public. It hung in palaces, including Versailles, and was eventually moved to the Louvre Museum after the French Revolution. So, how did it transform from a respected masterpiece into a global superstar? Its fame began to build in the 19th century, when romantic writers and artists became fascinated by her mysterious smile. They saw her as a femme fatale, a timeless symbol of enigmatic femininity. They wrote poems and essays about her, projecting their own fantasies onto the canvas and building a myth around her that captured the public imagination. She was no longer just Lisa Gherardini. She was La Gioconda, the mysterious siren. But the event that truly catapulted the Mona Lisa to worldwide fame was a crime. On a summer morning in 1911, the unthinkable happened. The Mona Lisa was stolen from the Louvre. The museum was in chaos. The police were baffled. For 2 years, the world's most famous painting was missing. Newspapers across the globe covered the story, plastering her face on their front pages. Suddenly, everyone knew who the Mona Lisa was. The theft turned her from an art history subject into a front-page news story. People who had never set foot in a museum were now captivated by the mystery. The empty space on the wall where she once hung became a morbid tourist attraction in itself. The culprit was an Italian handyman named Vincenzo Peruggia, who had previously worked at the Louvre. He believed the painting had been stolen from Italy by Napoleon, and that he was a patriot, returning it to its rightful home. He simply hid in a closet overnight, took the painting off the wall, and walked out with it under his coat the next morning. For 2 years, he kept it hidden in a trunk in his small Paris apartment. He was finally caught in 1913 when he tried to sell it to an art dealer in Florence. The painting was celebrated with a triumphant tour of Italy before being returned to the Louvre. The ordeal had an incredible effect. The Mona Lisa wasn't just a painting anymore. She was a survivor, a national treasure that had been lost and found. Her fame was now permanently sealed. Today, the Mona Lisa is more than just a painting. She is a cultural phenomenon. She is protected behind bulletproof, climate-controlled glass at the Louvre, viewed by millions of visitors each year. She is the most reproduced, most parodied, and most referenced work of art in history. Her image has been used to sell everything from chocolate to software. Artists like Marcel Duchamp and Andy Warhol have used her image to challenge our ideas about art and originality. She has appeared in countless films, songs, and books. Her face has become a universal shorthand for high art, mystery, and beauty. She has transcended her original purpose as a portrait to become a blank canvas onto which we project our own ideas and emotions. But why does she continue to hold such power over us? Perhaps it's because she embodies a perfect fusion of art and science, realism and mystery. Leonardo didn't just paint a face. He captured the essence of a human soul. He used his scientific knowledge of anatomy and optics to create a work of incredible technical skill, but he also infused it with a psychological depth that feels alive. That slight, ambiguous smile seems to hold a secret knowledge, reflecting our own changing moods and thoughts. When we look at her, she seems to look back, creating a silent dialogue that has fascinated viewers for 5 centuries. She is a testament to the power of art, to transcend time and connect us to our shared humanity. The Mona Lisa is not just a painting on a wall. She is a story of a Florentine woman, of a genius artist at the height of his powers, of a daring theft that made her a household name, and of the enduring mystery that keeps us coming back for one more look. She reminds us that the greatest works of art don't always give us answers. Instead, they ask us questions and invite us to look closer, to think deeper, and to feel something profound. The next time you see her image, remember the layers of history, technique, and intrigue behind that famous smile. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the heart of a masterpiece. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more deep dives into the world of art. See you next time. See you.